The rotifers and the acanthocephalans are both lophotrochozoans that are fairly closely related to each other. The rotifers are really tiny. These are actually smaller than some protists. If you see the scale right here is only 0.1 millimeter. So this entire organism here is an actual animal. It's multicellular, and it's likely smaller than an entire millimeter. They do have a true alimentary canal. That means they have an anus and a mouth, right? So there's an entrance here and an exit here. They have a pseudocoelom, so this means that they do have that body cavity. It's a false one though, because it's not completely lined by mesoderm. Rotifers have some interesting methods of reproduction. Some of them can produce parthenogenesis. So parthenogenesis is when a female reproduces through asexual reproduction. So they're going to create offspring from unfertilized eggs. So basically these offspring are all going to be female, and they're all going to be clones of the female parent. B. deloidea is actually an entire clade of all asexual rotifers. And these have persisted for 50 million years without any male individuals. So we think that what can happen is these guys can tolerate very high levels of drying out. And so they dry out, and what happens is it leaves cracks in the plasma membrane. So when they rehydrate, those cracks allow some DNA to escape or come in. And so evidence is that the DNA from other species can actually enter the cell membrane and then get incorporated into their genome, and that would be how they would persist with genetic diversity, even they're only reproducing asexually. Acanthocephalans are sexual reproducers, and these are parasites. So you can see that they've got these hooks on the rostral end here where they would attach. They do have a complete digestive tract, just like the rotifers do, and they're again very small, less than 20 centimeters long. These are often called spiny-headed worms because of those curved hooks on their proboscis or nose. These were originally thought to be a clade of their own, but it's been suggested that they are highly modified groups of rotifers. We've got two more groups here, the Ectoprocts and the Brachiopods. So these are both going to have this lophophore structure that Lophotrochozoa is known for. So you can see this kind of crown of feeding tentacles here, and then on the Brachiopod, this crown of feeding structure is actually here inside of what looks like a shell. So the Ectoprocts are sessile, so that means that they're sedentary, they don't move, and they're colonial. So each one of these is an individual animal, so these are going to live together. And they kind of look like clumps of moss. The word ecto means outside, and procta means anus. These organisms have a hard exoskeleton here, and then with an opening for this lophophore to exit. So these are common in marine environments, typically found as building on reefs. Brachiopods superficially look like clams or some other type of bivalve. There is a difference though. The shell is actually dorsal ventral, so this would be the top, this would be the bottom. Actual bivalves, the shells are left and right rather than top and bottom. So these are remnants of species that we think are 30,000 years old from the Paleozoic and Mesozoic eras. The few species that are extant today appear to be nearly identical to the species from about 400 million years ago.